I told you it'd be windy today. Take a look at this dust storm in Moses Lake. There's some good news though. The wind is going to die down.
As the FBI searched the home of a Washington state man, they found incoherent messages written on his car in tape. Tonight, that man is accused of sending suspicious packages to the military.
It took 2 full days to find jurors who hadn't heard of this case, but opening statements will finally start tomorrow in the case of a reserve deputy who shot and killed his wife.
Well, a post circulating across social media is telling people there's a secret code to let 911 operators know you need help. It claims if someone is listening to your call and you're afraid, you're supposed to pretend to order a pepperoni pizza. Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Jane McCarthy.
And I'm Mark Hanran. Right off the bat, we want to let you know there was no validity to those rumors on social media. In fact, local dispatchers say they don't have any specific code words that they listen for.
But they do have other ways to get information if a caller is too scared to tell them what's happening. KREM 2's Alexa Block joins us now with what she's learned. Alexa.
I found out Spokane County dispatchers don't receive too many calls where a person feels that they can't say exactly what's happening, but it happens often enough that dispatchers are trained for it. John Heglin has been a 911 call receiver for more than 20 years. As a supervisor now, he has pretty much gotten every call you can imagine, including ones where a victim can't come out and say where they are and what is happening to them.
For myself, it's been a while, but I had a woman call in a domestic violence situation, and she was pretending to talk to her mother. She pretended to call her mom for a ride for her mom just going to pick her up and take her out of the home. And it took a minute to realize that it was different what the situation was.
And when he did, he said he started asking yes or no questions.
About weapons involved, and is the person there, and are they free to, you start with, are they free to, can they speak with you freely?
Heglin says when the situation isn't clear to them, they sometimes have to use other techniques to find out what's going on.
The training that we have covers the general situations, but what we teach the call receivers is listen to voice tone, listen to what's going on in the background, listen to what they're saying versus the words that they're using or how their voice sounds. They're not that rare. We get them on occasion enough that we bring it up in training, and probably everybody's had one at some point in their career.
And it's really being prepared for anything that allows Heglin and his team to help their callers.
Definitely call and we'll work with you, we'll get the information.
Now, a caller can, of course, text 911 from a cell phone if they need help, but dispatchers say they have a better time getting your location if you call. Also, if you call, they're able to hear what's going on and get more details that way. In the studio, Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
Alexa, thank you. It has been more than 2 years now since a former Lincoln County Reserve deputy says he accidentally shot and killed his wife. Well, now Dwayne Thurman's manslaughter trial is getting underway.
KREM 2's Lindsay Nadrich has been covering this case from the very start. She has more on what we can expect during the trial.
Dwayne Thurman says he accidentally shot and killed his wife, Brenda Thurman, while cleaning a gun in their kitchen. The autopsy lists her cause of death as accidental, but Brenda's children do not believe it was an accident. It happened more than 2 years ago, and this case is just now going to trial. It took investigators more than a year to recommend a manslaughter charge. Jury selection began yesterday. The juror questionnaire only has 4 questions. 2 have to do with publicity of the case and whether or not they've heard about it on the news. The other 2 questions ask, have you, any family member or friend, been a victim of domestic violence? And have you, any member of your family or friends, had any contact with Child Protective Services? Thurman worked for CPS. There are 12 people on the state's witness list, including Brenda's daughter, Gabrielle Corriette. According to court records, prosecutors estimate her testimony will only last 30 minutes. That's the same amount of time estimated for a 911 employee also on the witness list. Gabrielle was in the home upstairs when the gun was fired. She saw Dwayne's reaction after the shooting and helped get her mom to the hospital. Several detectives, the medical examiner, a forensic technician, and Dwayne Thurman himself are on the list to testify. This trial is only expected to last 4 or 5 days, including the time it's taken for jury selection. The jury will be made up of 12 people plus 2 alternates. I'm Lindsay Nadrich, KREM 2 News.
In other news, FBI officials say several suspicious packages found around the nation's capital yesterday were the work of a Washington state man. Police arrested 43-year-old Thurman early this morning at his home in Everett. He made his first appearance in court this afternoon. He's been charged with shipment of explosive material. A reporter with our Seattle sister station was on scene as federal agents arrived at Thurman's home today. They found at least 2 cars outside his property with rambling messages written in duct tape.
A package sent by Thurman to the National Defense University yesterday contained materials that did test positive for explosives. The package also appeared to have a fuse attached. Similar packages were mailed to 10 federal facilities, including the CIA and the NSA. All the packages were rendered inert and were sent to the FBI lab for examination. Today, we learned the packages also included letters which law enforcement sources describe as threatening. Well, it might be a bit difficult to see here, but that is actually the interstate. Washington State Patrol tweeted out this photo of a dust storm along I-90 just west of Moses Lake. WSP says it's clear now, but of course drivers should be aware of changing conditions. It's that time of year, or at least getting to be, Tom, where these windstorms and these dust storms become a bigger problem.
Yeah, that is spring weather. It's our version of March Madness out in the Moses Lake area. The airport out there recorded a peak wind gust of 36 miles per hour. They didn't get any rain today, so you get what you see right there, and that is a lot of airborne dust. Now we're seeing some rain still occurring across areas of northern Idaho, even an isolated lightning storm, meaning a little bit of an isolated thunderstorm, kind of moving through the northeastern section of Kootenai County, but still dry, mostly dry here in Spokane, and we're looking for continued dry conditions to move in. So there's a look at Coeur d'Alene. You can see that little lightning bolt just kind of pop up. It looks like it's mostly occurring over the mountainous areas. It's not along I-90 in the Silver Valley, so not posing any kind of a problem. 54 degrees in Spokane. You see the cooler temperatures where we saw that rain, like Sandpoint at 41 degrees, Wallace, Idaho right now at 41, heading the other direction, and we've got still have a current temperature of 60 in Moses Lake. Here's a look at your day planner forecast. 40s this evening. Wind begins to die down overnight. We'll look for breezy conditions tomorrow, not nearly as windy as today, half the wind speed. We'll look for the occasional wind gust to 20, and then we'll see a daytime high of 53. Looking ahead to Easter weekend, I've got seasonal temperatures, low 50s. We'll look for partly to mostly cloudy skies and a slight chance of showers on Easter Sunday, but right now it doesn't look like a soaking weekend at all. Maybe we'll keep the Easter bunny dry. I'll have a look at your 10-day outlook coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks very much, Tom. Renovations have stopped now on the Otis Hotel in downtown Spokane. The Spokane Regional Clean Air Agency says the 100-year-old building has an asbestos problem. The developer is planning to turn it into a boutique hotel, part of the Hotel Indigo chain.
Washington State Labor and Industries inspectors found asbestos in the building that wasn't listed in the paperwork. The building has sat vacant for years. Late last year, the developer told us he hoped the hotel would be ready to open this summer. We've reached out to him again today for an update, but we have yet to hear back.
Well, this afternoon, Governor Jay Inslee signed a new law restricting the use of firefighting foams that contain certain chemicals. Those chemicals are called PFAS, and they're linked to cancer. The foam recently contaminated drinking water in Airway Heights. The new restrictions are the first of their kind in the nation. Well, if you still have a hard time putting down your phone behind the wheel, maybe this will help. Law enforcement is stepping up distracted driving patrols across the state.
The 2-week period kicks off this Monday. The new driving under the influence of electronics law means drivers cannot hold their cell phone or use them while driving. And that includes when drivers are stopped in traffic or at a light. The first DUI ticket costs $136, so consider yourself warned.
Yes.